guys, Christy Arnett here for Card Player TV, and today I'm with Will Failla. Thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you for having me, Christy.
I figured the best thing to talk to you about would be heads-up play, because you recently won the Caesars Palace Classic heads-up event. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. It was great. It was great.
So when you sit down at a table and you're about to play heads-up, what kinds of things are you looking for when you're sizing up your opponent?
Well, you know, like in the heads-up championship, I was studying every single guy every time they made a bet, and I was just trying to do little picks here and there where I could feel where I stood in the hand. And I actually got some really good reads on my opponents. I had some really tough matches, and I just went. I said, no matter what happens, I'm going to go with my gut instinct, and I stuck to whatever my intuition said, and I was right.
Okay. What are those little things that are you looking for? Like, are you talking about bet sizes, or what is most important in heads up that you're looking for to give you a read on your opponent or hand?
Well, I was looking for a lot of patterns. You know, like I was watching button raises. I was watching C bets. You know, continuation bets after the flop, and it seemed a little ABC to me, but I guess it wasn't that way to everybody else. And like my last opponent with Cody was, I just knew that he was going to, you know, bluff the river a lot, and I just made sure that every time I had a chance to trap him, I did. And, you know, it just kind of worked out for the best, I guess.
How do you handle someone who raises every single time on the button? Do you try and repop them sometimes to let them know not to do that, or how do you handle a super aggressive opponent who always raises in position? I
got to tell you, Christy, I change that as we go. You know, like a guy like Cody, I'm going to Cody because that was the final match. He was raising a lot every hand, and I would try to trap him when I had a hand to trap him. Like the last hand, I had pocket kings, and I limped from the button, and he raised with 10-7. The flop came 7 high, and he bet. I just smoked. The turn was a king. He checked, and I led with the set there, only knowing the type of player and opponent I had there.
Okay.
A lot of other players, like A, B, and C guys, I would have checked there and seen if he got there on the river, you know, and try to make him make a move for his whole stack. But in a type of player like Cody, I led with the nuts, and you know, a lot of people don't do that. And he smooth called, and the river was a bad card for him. You know, he couldn't do nothing with that. He just opened shove when he hit his 10. He had top 2, besides the king.
Right.
And that was the end of the match.
Now, you're obviously an outspoken and outgoing guy, so what kind of meta games is going on here? I mean, do you ever try and get your opponent on tilt by table talk?
My mouth is my whole game. My mouth is absolutely my whole game, and if I tell you, since they've enforced the rules of less talking and you're not allowed to really talk in a hand, it's affected my game. It's absolutely affected my game because I love to talk the game. And I can get an opponent, like I said last night, I can get an opponent to call me when I want him to call, and I can get an opponent to fold when I want him to fold. And my conversation really in the hand means a lot to me. Are there questions that, I mean, amateurs who are maybe afraid to talk, but maybe they want to try and find more information, what kind of questions could players ask? Like will you fold, or will you show if I fold, or something like that? Do you ever get... Yeah, that's like a river. That's a big question on a river when you got like middle pair, or if you have a pocket pair and you don't think the guy hit a card higher than yours. And a lot of times you get a read or a feeling the way they say it, or if they say it, if you fold, I show, usually means a sign of weakness. But a real good player, like a top pro, would tell you if you fold, I show, and they got the nuts. So there's reverse tells too. So you got to know. I think I was advised by a very top pro. I would not like to use names, but it was about 3 years ago, and he said to me, if you want to be successful at this game, the key ingredient to winning is knowing your opponent. And forget pot size bets, and forget aces, and forget kings and everything. Know who you're in the hand with, and you could be successful. Okay. Now, heads up, it seems like it's so personal. You know, like it really is. If someone bluffs you or whatever, so I mean, and that can affect your game. So how do you make yourself stay on top of it, even when it gets personal, even when you know you got that opponent who maybe they just showed you a bluff, or how do you deal with that? We probably play on Long Island in New York. We probably play with, I would say, the best players in the country back home, and all we do is talk the hand. And you get such a feeling on certain words to tell certain people that I don't know, it's just second nature. It's really just second nature to me. Like I would love to be in a heads-up championship at NBC this year, and if I did that, I would love to call out Chris Ferguson anytime he's ready, and I'm ready for him tonight.
Right?
It don't matter to me. I don't care. Bring them all on. I'm ready. I'll go up against anybody. I believe my game is good enough. I truly do.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming. It's
Thank
great
you.
talking to you.
It's a great time, Kristen.
Chris Tiernett with Will Failla for Card Player TV.